All right, page 3 for the review is continuing with adding rational expressions. Notice that the next ones coming up are equations. These are still expressions. So you are forced to find the LCD, make equivalent fractions so you can add across the numerators of the common denominators. Okay, so this denominator is not the same as this one, but I'm assuming it's part of it. It's a factor of, so let's see, plus minus. To get a leftover, the 2 needs to be here. So this is missing an x plus 2. So this needs an x plus 2 to make an equivalent fraction, which means this is the LCD. This is part of the equivalent fraction that it would take. And then this needs to have everything fixed. So that's plus a 4x plus 2. So this needs to be factored. X squared, so this would be 2x minus 3x would give you a negative x minus 6. And then you need to incorporate these guys into that. So that's going to be x squared plus 3x, minus 4. And that factors to a positive 4 and a negative 1 over a x squared, plus, not x squared, x plus 2, x minus 1, and then it needs to be reduced. So this is going to be x plus 4 over x plus 2. There's your final answer. Okay? All right, now switch gears to equations. Equations, we want to find the LCD also. So LCD for this guy is just 8x. And what we do is use the LCD to clear the fractions. So we're not working with fractions anymore. You're allowed to do that when it's an equation, right? Not when it's an expression. So once you find the LCD, you can clear the fractions by multiplying each term in the equation by your LCD and reducing, okay? So this is 8x times x plus 4 over x. This one is 8x times 5 over 8 equals, I'm kind of doing it the long way for a minute for this one, x times 2 over x. So you multiply your LCD by the numerator of every term, okay, even if you have a whole number, and we'll show you on the next one, but and then reduce, okay? So if you did it correctly, you no longer have fractions. So this is going to be 8x plus 4 minus 5 equals 2 times 8 is 16, okay? I forgot my x. There's an x right there. Okay, so this needs to be distributed. So 8x plus 32 minus 5x equals 16. Combine like terms and move the 32. Sorry for the scribbles. Hang on. I barely read all this. 16 minus 32. Okay. So let's go over here. So 8x minus 5x is 3x. Move the 32 over, and you're going to get a negative 16. So x equals a negative 16 over 3. Okay. This one has greatest common factor. So this denominator is a factor of that denominator, so that's my LCD. Okay, so, excuse me. So this is going to be multiplied by everything. Here, let me write this out. So this is going to be This is kind of written out the long way. Hang in there. You think of it as over 1 at the moment, okay? It's a minus sign I'm trying to make in there. And this is going to be 1 times 6 is 6, right? So 6x minus 6 over x minus 6. All right. So reduce everything. That goes away and that goes away. So you're left with an x minus all of this. Let's go this way. What is 3 times 6 is 18. 18. Distributed would be 18x. Is it 18x? Let me check my notes for a second, make sure I'm on the right track. Yeah, okay. Plus 108, if I did that right. And equals 6. Okay. So we need to move the 6 over. Do we need to move the 6 over? No, we need to move the 108 over because we're going to handle this right here. So minus 108. Sorry, I'm running out of room. This is going to 1x minus 18x is 17x equals 6 minus 108 is 102. 17, did I lose a sign? I lost a sign. That was a negative 18. Negative here. Negative here. Dropped all the signs. All right. And believe it or not, negative 17 into 102x equals negative over negative. Negative 102 divided by negative 17 is a 6. Now, I would circle that answer, but remember what we were doing, and one of the other things we need to think about when it's an equation versus an expression, we need to check for extraneous solutions, okay? So if x turned out to be 6, and you put it in here, you're going to get 6 minus 6, which is 0, and that would make this a undefined rational expression, which is not allowed to happen, okay? So you can't have that as a solution. So actually the answer to this is no solution, because any solutions you got were extraneous. So apparently we cannot use them. Do not put them in there as a possibility. Okay? This just doesn't work. All right. Now, these next ones were that last section, the last lesson on variation problems. So the electrical current in amperes varies directly. Directly means divide, right? Varies inversely is multiplication. Varies directly is divide. And we'll make voltage V. Okay? And then it tells you, well, let's write that down first. The first one goes on top. If you're dividing, it goes on top. The voltage goes underneath, and that equals K. All right? And then you look at the given information. You put it where it belongs. So 18 is a volt. 6 is an ampere. So that makes K, whatever this is a reduced fraction, which is 1/3. So K equals 1/3. Okay? Keep it in a fraction. Don't make it a decimal. Because then you're going to go over here and you want to put 54 volts. Remember, volts were on the bottom in the denominator. And K is now 1/3, and we don't know what A is. Okay, we're sticking with this the whole way. That now looks like this, and remember how we can solve those? We can solve those with cross multiplication. So this is going to be 3A equals 54, right? This way and that way. Divide by 3, A equals 18. Okay? That was very sloppy, I'm sorry. Hooke's law states that the distance that a spring is stretched by a hanging object varies directly. So that's another divide. And what varies directly? Let's see, distance, so that's a D, varies directly with mass of object. Okay? So varies directly. Before I even read any farther, I want to set that up. The first thing was the distance. The second thing was a mass. And since it varies directly, they're divided to equal k. All right, let's see. The distance is 160. The mass is 24. That equals k. 160 over 24 reduces to 20 over 3. And then the new information gives you is a mass. So the mass was on the bottom. It says, what is the distance? Put the k back as a fraction and cross multiply. So this would be 3d equals what? 120 divided by 3. D equals 40. Okay. This one's out of context. It just gives you an A and then tells you it varies inversely. That means we're multiplying. So A times the square of R equals K. Okay, got to set that up first. And then it gives you the information that R is 9 and A is 2. So 2 times 9 squared is how I write that. Order of operations says do the 81 first, multiplied by 2, and K is 162. All right, so set that up again with the new information of A being 18. So 18 is where A goes, and we don't know R, but I know that K is 162. All right, we're sticking with this formula right here. Divide by 18. 162 divided by 18 is 9, so R equals 3. Okay? All right, and then the last one, Sam can mow a lawn in 40 minutes. Rocky can, okay, so this is a work problem. So Sam is in 40 minutes, so the reciprocal of that is that. Rocky can mow the same lawn in 20 minutes, so the reciprocal is that. So how long can they do if they work together? How long does it take them? Okay, so they're in this section because why? You're adding fractions. Rational, this one's a rational expression, those are fractions. You need an LCD to clear your fractions. So 20 is a factor of 40, so the LCD in this case would be 40t, okay? 40t, 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 okay? So let's reduce, right? That's 40t over 40 is going to be t. Plus 20 into 40 is 2, so that's 2t, and t into 40t is 40. So 1t plus 2 t's is 3 t's equals 40, divided by 3. T equals 13 1/3 minutes. That's going to be a repeating 3. So if they want decimals, it's a repeating 3. So maybe it's rounded to the nearest tenth, but basically it's 13 1/3. And you go back and look and say minutes. Try to include them units. Okay, it's not hours, it's minutes for that one. And let's see if we can shove the last, we'll do it separately. Okay.